Welcome to Beneath the Shred. This is TJ Ho. Today, you won't learn everything, but you'll learn a little bit. So let's get ripping. Let's look at beefing up our shreds with chromaticism. Chromaticism is nothing more than connecting our diatonic notes with the notes that lay in between. The one important point I want you to remember is that chromaticism always works if you have a target tone in mind. So, to hammer home this point, let's just take a simple E minor arpeggio. Okay, now we're going to approach this from a very neoclassical standpoint. We can chromatically enter every note of the arpeggio from a half step below. Okay, and now we're going to do that twice. Okay, and of course, you can organize those a little bit differently on the fretboard to make it sound cool. So practice this one. So that's pretty sweet, eh? Just notice how even though you're approaching every note from a half step below, the ear is hearing the essence of that E minor arpeggio. So, now that we've got this concept of that target tone, what else can we do with it? Let's take our next step up and just take our minor pentatonic blues scale. And let's say we're just wanking away in E minor. And we have an E and a G. Let's say we wanted to connect those two notes. Well, if we were doing a melody, you could totally connect those notes with a chromatic movement. Okay, like I said, as long as you have those tones in mind, where you're coming from, where you're going, you can stick the chromatic notes in anywhere. Now, let's take it a little step further to expand on this. Let's just say we wanted to target the E note on the D string. Let's say that was our target. And we're playing around in our pentatonic scale, and we just want to create a little bit of interest, some chromaticism. Well, how can we reach that note? You know, if you take a stock lick like this, well, you know, everybody plays that. It's a little bit boring. You might be thinking to yourself, how can I spice that up? Well, chromaticism is a nice, easy way of doing that. And we could just do something like this. There's a nice easy way of spicing up your pentatonics. Just play around with that idea. Pick different target notes and see how you can arrive at them. Now let's talk about spicing up our 3-note per string shreds and really get ripping. So we'll stay in E minor and use this pattern. Now it's pretty common when you're having yourself a shred just to kind of mess around in that. Right, stuff like that, just keep going forever. But how can we make that a little more interesting? Maybe it will stick out from all your friends. Well, we can add some chromaticism. Learn this one. Now, to stay really light on the theory but heavy on the rockin', not much that I really want to talk about with these, but I do want to point your attention to how I ended that lick. I bent up to a B, G, bend into that G, to an E. So really I'm just outlining that E minor triad. So as I pointed out before, as long as you think about where's your line going and highlight those tones that you want to highlight, you're golden. So practice that one up. It's really going to add interest to your 3-note per string lines. Once you get it under your fingers, you're going to be ripping and using those ideas all the time. It's a great picking workout. If you practice it legato, you can even give your left hand a great workout. And you're going to be lighting the fretboard on fire. Let's check out one last example. This one's really going to challenge you because it moves around the fretboard a lot. It's the big daddy of them all. Whew, burning. Now let's break that down. Started off by establishing that Phrygian tonality in B, and then start on B and go up to a D, so the third of the chord. Really outlining those B minor notes. Then, quick little rundown of chromatic scale starting on the 4th degree of the scale, the E. And then F sharp, I jump up. So that's the 5th of the chord. So our highest note, it also belongs in the chord to give that melodic contour the proper notes. And then just a whole bunch of chromaticism. Don't try to figure that out. End on a D, the 3rd of the chord again with a little quarter step bend. End on B, the root. And there you go. Very light on the theory, but you're going to be ripping. So thanks for checking out this video. If you ever want to learn how to rip, come on back, because I'm going to be putting out Beneath the Shreds a lot. And you're going to learn how to solo in a shred style. You're going to learn how to improvise. You're going to learn the theory. You're going to learn some stuff that you didn't know before. And if you knew it, well, then I guess I tried my best. But I'll catch you later.